Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today. 323-870-3857 if you want to call in. Let's get it started. ESPN, the Snooze Fest. Shakur Stevenson versus Artem Hartunian for Stevenson's WBC lightweight title. Stevenson wins by unanimous decision. Scores were 119, 109, 118, 110, and 116, 112, which I thought was a little closer than it probably was. I think I had it 119, 109. I had the first round scored for Hartunian. After that, it was like one round looked exactly like the other round. It was the same type of deal, man.
I had a 10-2 for Shakur.
I think that's fine too. He had Hartunian hurt on more than one occasion, but never really stepped in and tried to finish him, man. Shakur had a good game plan by going down to the body to hurt him several times. Definitely slowed him down. And then he just coasted to the finish. Instead of finishing him, I tell you what, in that ninth round, I thought, man, that 4 rounds is going to be an eternity for Hartunian to try to survive this, because he was hurt to the body multiple times, and you could see him slowing down drastically, and that was it. I mean, it was like, come on, man,
again,
this was your chance to make this happen. This was your chance to, to get this knockout on this big stage, because it's the last time for your contract is expiring. Everything, it's your last chance to make a big impression to your current promoter or your new promoter. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, man, it was almost unwatchable. It was that bad. It really was, and they can say, and I know the announcers and everything were on his side and everything like that, and he was doing a great job. Listen, he's not finishing fights. That's the bottom line. Nobody is going to want to watch this guy. Nobody is going to want to watch this guy fight. I don't even want to watch him fight.
Here's the problem. People were booing, and they were justified in their booing. When you're throwing punches and you're not stepping in with your shots, turning your punches over, punching with trying to punch through your opponent, punch through the target, follow through with the shot instead of playing tag. Again, he landed a couple good body shots here and there, but he's just not stepping in with these shots and trying to land with bad intentions. He's playing tag, okay? And that's just the way it is. And Hartunian just kept coming forward. He would get hit with a good body shot here every now and then, but Shakur could not put combinations together to stop this guy in his tracks. And what is it with this new era of now lightweights throwing 400 punches a fight? I mean,
400.
Whatever happened to like the days of guys like trying to get guys out of there, putting shots together, throwing combinations, using the jab, one punch at a time, and just these little touch punches, not stepping in, turning them over, twisting at the end, and following through. And not landing with this part of the fist, just not even clenching the fist he's not even throwing a punch with a tight fist. He's landing with open gloved punches. It's just it's almost like he's back in the amateurs. I can't watch the guy anymore, and I can't stand all the tough talk before the fight. How I'm going to kick this guy's ass, kick that guy's ass,
right? And
then this is what we get.
And this is what you get.
It's just like, I mean, again, I'm not in there taking the shots. I get it. It's not easy, but I'm not a boxer. I'm not your level. The expectations for me aren't what they are for you. And then you hear all this gaslighting. Oh, I love how people who never fought before, who is 0-0, criticize. Dude, these are people who are supposed to be entertained, okay? We're the viewing audience. And if we don't like what we're seeing, we have every right to say we don't like what we're seeing, okay? And there's a lot of people that don't like what they're seeing. People were walking out, right? There was only 8,000 people there, okay? Let's see what happens. The market will tell you what you're worth. The market will tell you what you're worth.
Let me tell you this. This was in his hometown, Newark, New Jersey, right? Newark, Brick City, whatever it is. 8,600 people were there. I think it read like 8,600 people were there.
They were walking out in the 10th round.
Right. Let me tell you this. The Honda Center last night had 18,000 people there. It was sold out to capacity to watch Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal put on that exhibition or whatever it is you want to call it last night. That drew way more people, 10,000 more people. Come on. This is your hometown.
Your grandfather, your trainers in the corner imploring you to step on the gas.
And he didn't want to do
forward.
it.
Come forward. Cut the ring off, right? But once again, he's sitting there arguing with his grandfather, telling him, "Well, I'm winning. Oh, I'm gonna stop him. You're not gonna stop him throwing 400 punches, throwing 30 punches around, not putting your shots together, not stepping in. Not turning your shots over, not clenching your fist at the end when you're trying to punch through the target. Follow through.
He hits the
Follow
target.
through.
He doesn't punch through the target.
Doesn't punch through the target. Yep. What's punch through the target mean? It means stepping in and following all the way through. It's not throwing a punch. Arm. It's not throwing a punch like this.
He's worried about getting it back. He's worried about that snap back.
This ain't punching through the target.
Right.
This is punching through the target.
Yep.
This is punching through the target. Like Beep Senior used to do to me when I didn't take the trash out on time. Punch through the target. Beep Senior didn't go like this. He went like this to me because he knew it was up.
USC Trojan Zone, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. He said, thank you guys for the show. A long-time listener. Love to hear that, man. I'm glad you enjoy it. D-Style, our partner in crime here. Thank you so much. Shakur Stevenson. I think it's a great name for him. Great name for him. Let's talk a minute about the corner situation. You know, I think he needs a new trainer. I really do. And I really think that if he gets a new trainer and he doesn't improve,
he's not going to listen to anyone, Eric. The guy's stubborn. He's hard-headed. He got offered a 5-fight, $3 million a fight contract, $15 million total. It was confirmed yesterday. Kriegel was interviewing him. He said he confirmed it. And I mean, again, it's crazy, man. Like the level of delusion.
Mm-hmm.
Again, listen. The market will tell you what you're worth, right? You could think you're worth whatever you want to be worth. The market will tell you what you're worth. Let's see. Devin Haney found that out the hard way. He wanted to go the free agent route. Guess what? That $3 million got cut down to $1.5 million. I don't see a different road for Shakur Stevenson. Eddie Hearn already said he ain't going to pay him $3 million. He's interested, but he ain't going to pay. He told Bob, I'm not going to pay him what you paid him. He confirmed that. That's what he said. So where are you going to go? Where are you going to go?
You know what? I mean, and for you, you know, they give you a guy who's got 7 knockouts, 12 fights, 7 knockouts. This was tailor-made for you. It really was. This was tailor-made for you to go in there and get this guy out of there. And you had a great game. Your grandfather or whoever put together that game plan had a great game plan. You go to the body on this guy. You hurt him to the body, and he sure did. And like I said, in those middle rounds, and then when he hit that 9th round,
he stopped throwing body shots.
That's it. He was content to go the distance. Just awful.
These guys want to run the 4-corner offense, run the clock down, and then run the clock down to 5 seconds, and then shoot the ball. That's what they want to do. A lot of these fighters of today.
A Warrior One says all Shakur has to do is let his hands go more. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we understand that, but I tell you what, it's not all he has to do. Again, he's got to sit down on his punches.
He's got to turn his punches over and stop throwing punches like this.
Awful.
Turn the fucking things over.
He's still in that amateur mode. Nobody is going to want to pay for him. Nobody. And I'm shocked that they offered him a 5-fight, $3 million a fight, $15 million contract. I am stunned. And I'm even more stunned that you didn't jump on that. Tio just admitted he only gets $2 million a fight, which is still pretty good money. Don't get me wrong. But look, man, I mean, who would you rather watch fight, Tio or Shakur?
Tio.
Every day of the week, right?
Tio didn't set the world on fire last fight, but he tried. He threw 900 punches. My only problem with Tio is he needs to start using, setting the shots up a little better and going back to that jab that he showed beautifully in the Lomachenko fight. But at least he's throwing punches. At least he's throwing combinations.
Yeah, at least he's trying out there. Shakur looks like he's just content to get the decision and go. The fact that they were walking out of your fight in your hometown
and
lets me know everything.
Tim Bradley was gaslighting us so badly last night, bringing up Floyd Mayweather. Listen, and then I heard, well, Money May wasn't the same as Pretty Boy Floyd, right? Money Mayweather wasn't the same. Bullshit.
Stop it.
Go back and look at the Canelo fight. He was walking Canelo down, and he was walking Mosley down. He was pushing Cotto back. He stood in the fucking phone booth with fucking Maidana. He was walking Victor Ortiz down. And here's the thing about Floyd. As bad as his hands were, he would turn that right hand over and snap people's heads back. People were hesitant to come forward. He wasn't the biggest puncher in the world, but he snapped your head back. He got your attention. He would freeze you in your tracks as an opponent, right? So don't compare these guys today to Floyd. As much as I don't like Floyd as a person, he's a phenomenal fighter. He was a phenomenal fighter. Even in mid-30s, this guy was still great, right?
Yeah. Very good fighter. Big difference between Shakur and Floyd. Nando Llamas, thank you so much, my friend. He said, Keyshawn, another overhyped, pillow-fisted bum, too. How dare you?
Whoa!
Ho! He's got a family. Come on.
Whoa! He's got to pay the bills. Can't do that to him like that.
Do you think a different corner would help Shakur out? I think
no.
You just think he's that hard-headed?
Embedded in this. This guy is stubborn. This is who we want. He's arguing with his grandfather, who trained him since he was a little boy.
I would get rid of that
young
dynamic.
Man.
Yeah, I would totally get rid of that dynamic. Because that
You're
is
not listening to him. How could you not trust your grandfather?
Right. You got him in there. You must trust him. But that back and forth has got to go. I've never heard anybody talk more in a corner than him. I really haven't. I've never heard a fighter talk back like that. And I mean, that just means you don't have that, he's your grandfather. I get it. But there's
training you since you were a young kid.
There's a disconnect there. I think Shakur thinks he knows more or whatever, and whatever. Get a new trainer.
And I think a new trainer arguing with his grandfather.
Yeah, and that's not conducting. That's not good, man.
What is that?
I think that's a big thing too, man. That really is. That's a big character thing too. I mean, arguing with your grandfather right there on TV over him telling you to throw more punches. That's what he was telling. Throw more punches. Right. I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm winning. Yeah. But let me tell you what, people are hitting the exits while you're winning. People were booing in your hometown.
And they were booing not just in that fight, but other fights too. That was not a very good card last night.
Well, and I tell you what, if I'm Shakur's grandfather, I'm telling him the same thing, because listen, you saw the O'Shaquie Foster fight last night and how that went, and Shakur and Foster fight a lot of the same way. So yeah, I have no problem with where his grandfather was coming from, right? I have no problem where his grandfather was coming from, talking about, listen, you need to pick it up because you don't know what the judges are looking at. You don't. Yeah. I don't care if it's your hometown, you're the house fight. I don't care. You don't know what one bad decision will wreck him. You know what I mean? And listen, man, it just is, man. He was right. And he was right. What's next for this guy? I mean, realistically,
he's gonna have a hard time getting fights.
And I'll tell you what, I think the key to beating Shakur is making him uncomfortable.
It's volume.
Pressure. Volume.
I think Zepeda beats him.
You know what?
I think Tank beats him. I think Loma beats him.
Tank crushes him.
I think everyone beats him. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think everyone beats him because if he is overly concerned about getting hit by guys like Hartunian,
Terrified.
What's he gonna do when Tank is dropping bombs on him?
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, Tank's fast. Tank's fast.
And here's another problem.
He's
too,
cagey. Yeah.
Shakur don't like spending too much time in the pocket. Tank doesn't mind living in the pocket. He'll stay in the pocket and he'll just make you miss.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This guy, Shakur, he don't like fighting in the pocket.
No. And I mean, I know Matchroom is interested, but is he going to get $3 million a fight from Matchroom?
Eddie already said, I am not going to pay you what Top Rank paid you. Said it. I'm not going to pay him what Top Rank paid him. He said it to Bob. And Eddie confirmed it, and Bob confirmed it.
Yeah. So where's he going to go? What are you going to do? You're going to be your own man? You're going to be your own man and try to make fights?
Here's the problem. You're talking shit about Top Rank. You're mocking them, wearing T-shirts, insulting them. So then when you shop yourself around, then when you come back to Top Rank and try to get a deal, is that $3 million going to still be there, or are they going to lower it a little bit? Like, why are they going to do you any favors if you disrespected them like that? I wouldn't.
This is interesting. Nando Yama says that Shakur is signing with TMT. Dick Schaefer needs to make a splash.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, because really, what do you know?
I doubt it. Again, the market.
I said he's worth about $650 a fight. I mean, would you pay for it? You know what I mean?
The market will tell you what you're worth. I'll say it and I'll say it again. The market will tell you what you're worth.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You can't go and you can't tell people what you're worth. What you're worth is what people are willing to pay you. That's simple.
And him saying, I don't care about the fans and the fans aren't in there, blah, blah, blah.
I don't care about you either, my friend.
Right. There you go.
I'll never buy. I'm not paying for your fights.
I mean, think about it. He's not been on pay-per-view yet, and he's over there clamoring for these big paydays and everything like that. Like, nobody wants to watch you fight. I'd rather watch people watch you fight than to watch you fight.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
As far as who's he going to fight next, I'm on the camp. Who cares?
I don't care.
I could care less.
I don't care.
You got $3 million for that fight last night against Hartunian. $3 million. Why are you complaining? What in the world are you griping about?
Fighting guys, you're a 10-1 favorite against these guys. Yeah. And these aren't, again, I'm not in there taking the shots, whatever. I know it's hard, but the guy had 7 knockouts. That's the opponent you want to take chances with.
Yeah. Absolutely. He's just not willing to get hit.
No one's saying it has to be rock'em sock'em robots, but again, turn the fucking
take a shot.
No.
Do you think that's part of the whole thing? I mean, I wonder. Yep. I always wonder about that. You know,
guys who are apprehensive like that, they probably are overly concerned about getting hit because they've probably been buzzed a few times and they don't like it. No one likes it, but everyone reacts differently to it.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. The other snooze fest of the night, Oshaki Foster versus Robinson Conceicao. Foster's WBC junior lightweight title. In the shocker of the night, man, Robinson Conceicao wins the WBC junior lightweight title from Oshaki Foster in a split decision, 116-112 and 115-113 for Conceicao, 116-112 for Foster. And Foster is a lot like Shakur. He's not exciting. He's like watching paint dry. I got to tell you, I didn't score this fight. I'll be honest, I didn't score the fight, but just looking at the fight, it looked to me like Foster was winning the fight. But I'll be honest, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it because it just wasn't a good fight. It was boring. And I've told you before, I'm not Foster's biggest fan. I can't stand watching him fight. His hitting one style, here's the thing. He doesn't do it for me, man. He doesn't do it for me.
Here's the thing. Another guy who tried to run the 4-quarter offense last night. And all fight we were being gaslit, being told that this was a masterpiece. This was beautiful. Oh, look at the defense. Look at the defense. Look at the defense. Okay, that's great. But what about the offense? The equation is hit and not get hit. It's make them miss, make them pay. It's not hit and don't hit back. It's not make them miss and don't make them pay. The comparisons to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather would make them pay, and he would hit them with shots that he stepped in with and turned them over. O'Shaquie Foster fought last night like he was going to do just enough to get by. And I watched this fight. I did think Shakur Foster won the fight. I did score it. I had it actually 7-5 for Shaq. 8-4, 7-5 I thought was fair. 11-1, I wasn't seeing it. And I said to myself, I don't think the judges are seeing it that way either. And before the scores were announced, I said, I was a little surprised Shaq didn't get the decision. But I said to myself, watch one judge have it a draw. Because again, there's always that one judge that does not like a guy who fights off the back foot.
Yeah.
And doesn't try to come forward and initiate offense. It's one thing if you want to move back, but if you're moving back, you got to land significant counter punches while that guy's coming at you. He was shelling up. He was blocking. He was trying to, and Conceicao was trying to make the fight. And there were a lot of rounds where neither fighter really landed anything significant. But again, you had one guy coming forward trying to make the fight,
Right.
and you had another guy who was shelling up the whole night. Did he land a good uppercut here and there? Sure, but Conceicao landed a good right hand every now and then as well too. Oh, well, people want to go to the CompuBox. Okay, yeah, he landed 30 more punches, but 30 more punches in the course of a 12-round fight is like two punches a round.
Yep.
So when you're watching a fight and one guy's throwing a lot of punches, even though he's not landing them all, but he's coming forward and he's trying to force the action, and the other guy's just shelling up and at some points laying up against the ropes and just catching shots, and every now and then he'll throw a sneaky uppercut here, throw a nice hook there. But again, he did not set the world on fire. That was not a masterpiece. Did I think he won the fight? Yeah. Do I care he didn't get the decision? No. I'm hearing people saying I woke up to a robbery. So you fell asleep during the fight and you woke up and you listened to Mark Kriegel tell you the fight was 11-1. So then you just ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
Half the people fell asleep during the fight. How could it? I don't care if you think Shaq won the fight. That's fine. But you guys fell asleep during the fight. You copped to it on Twitter saying you fell asleep during the fight. I woke up to a robbery.
Listen,
I woke up to a robbery.
Yeah. I mean, look, and you know what? Honestly, I thought, like I said, I thought Foster won the fight. I thought he won it in a pretty good margin or whatever.
I don't think that was boxing 101. When you're landing one or two punches more than your opponent in a round, and you're just doing just enough to try to squeak by in the rounds. And
one
then
guy was trying to fight, one guy wasn't.
He wasn't trying to fight. He was trying to get by doing the least amount. He ran the four-corner offense.
Right.
And then Bradley, oh, what a beautiful display of defense. What a beautiful display. What about the offense, Bradley? And then he goes, well, yeah. When you make them miss, you got to make them pay. He said that one or two times, but that beautiful defense was the narrative of the evening for Tim Bradley. The gaslighting that goes on over there. Oh, well, this was an easy fight. How was it an easy fight?
You lost.
How was it an easy fight? What do you mean it was an easy fight? Like you were just like outlanding him by one or two punches around. What are you doing that's so great?
And I tell you what,
you're just lucky Conceicao wasn't landing either. But again, when one guy's throwing 700 punches, another guy's throwing 400 punches, one guy's coming forward, the other guy's laying on the ropes, moving backward. I mean, what are you going to do in that situation? Again, that part of the reason why he was throwing so few punches too is because Conceicao was putting a lot of volume on him. Nothing that Shakur Foster threw stopped Conceicao from coming forward and trying to apply pressure. Now, again, Conceicao was shelling up. I get it. He was blocking a lot of shots. I get it. Did he win the fight? Yeah. Did he win it in an impressive fashion? No. Was it a masterclass? No. Did he dominate the fight? No. So again, 11-1 gaslighting is bullshit. That was not an easy fight. That was not a masterclass. And again, I have no sympathy for the guy. You ran the four-corner offense. You laid back. You were laying on the ropes. You were shelling up. You weren't putting your shots together. You weren't stepping in with your shots either. You were throwing those little bullshit punches. You weren't stepping in and trying to turn the shots over. You weren't trying to throw punches with authority. You were playing tag like Shakur Stevenson was. And again, there's always going to be that one judge that's not going to like that style. This is nothing new in boxing. I've seen it over and over again. Did I think he was going to lose the fight? No. But I said to myself, the judges are not going to have it this wide. I thought the scores were going to be 114 to 114. I thought one judge was going to have it a draw. I thought one judge would have it 8-4 for Shock. And there's always that wide scorecard 9-3. That's what I thought. Did I think Conceicao was going to get the decision in this fight? No. Am I mad that he did? No, I'm glad, because I'm tired of seeing these guys go in there with the sparring partner mentality. It's like when you're at the gym. I remember back in the day when a fighter would be at the gym and he'd be so much better than the other guy, and the trainer would say, hey, we're going to just work on some things today. We're not going to really step to this guy. We're going to work on our defense a little bit. We're going to try some new things. Again, that's sparring.
Yeah.
We don't expect that in a fight. Okay, you want to spar, then go do it behind closed doors in a gym, and don't ask people to pay for it. Don't ask people to pay for it. So again, do I think he won the fight? Yes. Do I care that he lost? No.
Listen, if you ask me, was it a robbery? Yeah, probably it was a robbery.
Was it a bad decision? Was it a bad decision? Yeah,
bad decision.
Probably.
Robbery.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't care.
All the
I don't
above.
care.
I do not care.
Now you got to learn your lesson.
A little.
Then he goes on Twitter and says, next time if I'm going to knock him out. You should have had that mentality the first time.
Right.
I'm mad at him.
You just had him,
I'm more mad at him than I am at the scoring, because the way he fought, he tried to just get by in these rounds, run the clock out, land a punch here and there.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing when Tyson Fury, who's a 264-pound heavyweight, is throwing more punches around than lightweights. What is this new era of lightweights and junior lightweights throwing 400 punches around? In what world did that even Floyd Mayweather would throw like 500 punches around, and he would land fucking 250 of them, and he would be snapping people's heads back in the process, not throwing these punches.
Pity pat.
Not throwing it.
Call it.
Turn the fucking shot over. Boom, boom, boom.
So
turn the knuckle over.
Hit. So worried about getting hit, and if he were, I don't know. They like the slap. It's like the slap fest.
Yeah, so really I don't feel bad for Shock. Oh, poor Shock. He got raw. I don't care. Throw fucking punches next time.
I agree.
And turn the shots over.
And he did get robbed, but I could care less.
Yeah,
I could care less.
Care.
I wouldn't pay a dime to see his next fight either. So
I don't care.
Yeah.
At least I know Conceicao comes to fight.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
So I don't care.
Keyshawn Davis versus Miguel Madueno, 10 rounds lightweights. Davis dominates, wins by unanimous decision, 99-91 three times. All three judges had the same score. Keyshawn Davis looked good, and he continues to improve, man. He really did look good, and he tried his best to get that guy out of there. It looked like he wasn't cruising. He was trying to get him out of there. Abdullah Mason versus Luis Lebron, 8 rounds. Mason wins by TKO in the third. Let's shoot over here to DAZN. William Zepeda versus Giovanni Cabrera, 12 rounds lightweights. Zepeda wins by TKO in the third over Cabrera. There's been a lot of talk about Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson. I don't know that fight materializes unless he goes to Golden Boy, and I don't think Golden Boy is going to pay him. But any thoughts on that fight, Zepeda?
I don't think Zepeda is going to fight Shakur. I think he'll be the end of the road. Like, he'd be the last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So I think they'll fight the Ukrainian guy first that just won the title, and then they'll probably fight Shakur after that. It'll be like a unification fight.
But again, like, what is the you start thinking about, does anybody really want to see that fight?
Well,
does anybody want to see Shakur fight that guy?
I don't think Shakur can get away with fighting the way he fought against Artuni and against Zepeda.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to have that fight be a unification fight.
Yeah, I would go along with that. Let's go stay on the zone here. Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, 10 rounds, light heavyweights, 18,000 in attendance at the sold-out Honda Center. Diaz wins a majority decision, 95-95, 97-93, and 98-92. Listen, it was entertaining. But more so was just kind of bad boxing. I'll be honest with you. It didn't look like, I mean, it was entertaining. Both guys are trying to hit. Both guys are trying to get each other out of there. Neither guy's covering up. They're throwing caution to the wind. They're fighting. But it just wasn't what we're used to. You know, it wasn't, you could tell neither guy does this for a living, you know, on a high level. But listen, think about this for a minute. Those two headlined. Two guys that aren't boxers. One guy has a 1-0 record. The other one has an 0-1 record. And you got 18,000 packed in there to see these two guys. While 8,000, 8,600 or whatever it was in Newark walking out on that main event. You know, it just, I mean, look, it is what it is. Daniel Jacobs versus Shane Mosley Jr., 10-round super middleweights. Ooh, this was a tough one, man. Shane Mosley won a unanimous decision, 99-91 choice and 100-90. This was awful to watch, man. This was really sad. Danny Jacobs looked out of shape. He looked old. He's got to be done. I mean, I don't know anybody who would put him in there after that performance. That was bad. That was real bad. I mean, Danny J, I knew, I had a feeling that Mosley Jr. was going to win. I knew Danny, was a little bit older and stuff like that. He looked awful. I don't know how they put him in there. I really don't. He looked bad. He really did. Kermel Moton was also on the undercard here. He won with a second-round TKO. He looked pretty good. Across the pond, we had Johnny Fisher versus Alan the Savage Babich. Fisher stopped him in the first round. Beeb, this pretty much puts an end to Babich. We can pretty much cross him off the list, I think.
Yeah.
Not real impressive. Irie says, what was the point of the Loma shirt? On the back, it said something about him being Loma's father or something like that, or he owns Loma or something. Just a call out for Lomachenko. It was kind of silly.
That's why Loma's getting the tank fight and you're not.
Right. Yeah, well, people want to pay for that. And that's going to be a huge fight. That's going to be another huge fight.
And it'll be a fun fight to watch, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like last night.
Right. I get it, man. Let's go over the fights next week. That was pretty much it for this week's action. Let's see here. On ESPN Plus on July 12th, I believe it's Friday, Roman Gonzalez versus Robert Barrera, 10 rounds, bantamweights. How about he's still fighting? How about Gonzalez is still fighting? That's going to be on ESPN Plus. July 13th, I guess that's a Saturday, ESPN Plus, Janabek Alam Kanuli versus Andre Mikhailovich, 12 rounds for Alam Kanuli's WBO and IBF middleweight titles. Raymond Muratalla versus Tevin Farmer, 10 rounds lightweights. And let's see what else we got here. DAZN on Saturday, Jaron Boots Ennis versus David Avanesian, 12 rounds for Ennis's IBF welterweight title. And let's see, I think that's pretty much it. Not much on the way of undercards for that DAZN card or the top rank or the Golden Boy card. Isn't that Golden Boy or is that top rank? Janabek?
Janabek is top rank.
Okay. Yeah, so not great undercards on either one of those. But Jaron Boots Ennis versus David Avanesian, I'm looking forward to. I think that's going to be a good one. I think Boots wins. Hopefully Boots starts to get the shine he deserves. He's waited for a long time. Crawford's going to move up in weight, so those belts are going to be those belts are vacated. So hopefully he gets his just due and gets a big fight sooner rather than later. Because I think he's the goods, man. I really do. I like him a lot. All right, let's go to the phones. Robert, 530, you're live.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Hey, Robbie.
Not much. Trying to stay cool. We're in the middle of a heat wave here.
Fall asleep last night watching those fights? What happened?
They were good sleeping pills.
Mrs. Herrick make some hot cocoa while you're watching those fights? Try to keep you awake?
No, hell, even she went to sleep during those fights. Top Rank's got to improve their roster. Can you imagine if Shakur Stevenson actually fought Foster? God, you talk about a sleeping pill fight. That would be a sleeping pill fight. My God. I don't feel sorry for either one of those people. Shakur Stevenson is not going to get paid. I can't believe Top Rank offered him $3 million a fight for 5 fights, and he said no. He's never going to get the money that, say, a Floyd Mayweather got, a Manny Pacquiao got. He's not entertaining enough. Good God Almighty, William Cepeda would tear him apart in a heartbeat. I mean, he's scared to death to get hit, and his grandfather was giving him the proper advice. He was telling him exactly what he needed to do, and he just refused to do it. So how in the hell is another trainer going to fix that?
Well, listen, man, again, I think a trainer,
that's a real problem.
I do think a trainer can make a difference. It depends on what trainer you get in there and what he's going to be willing to put up with and what he's willing to not put up with. But I don't see Shakur. Shakur is the kind of guy that if it's not broken, don't fix it.
How is a new trainer going? Yeah, how is a new trainer going to change his mentality when all he wants to do is argue and say, "I'm winning. I can do it the way I want."
Well, think about it. I mean, it's he's comfortable with his trainer. That's why he's able to talk to him like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I ever talked to Beep Senior like that, man, I'd have a footprint in my ass so deep.
I hear you, man. Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand the disrespect either. But I mean, could you imagine talking to your grandfather like that? I couldn't.
I would never talk to Nono like that, man. I would never talk to my Nono like that, man.
I can't imagine a guy like Joe Goosen, for example, trying to show him what he needed to do, and Stevenson talking to Joe Goosen or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Robbie, I just got to be honest, Robbie. I'd rather watch you fight an old lady at the supermarket over a bag of chips than watch Shakur Stevenson fight, man.
I'd watch
I'm just being honest, Robbie.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I'd rather see you get tossed around by an old lady at Publix over that last bag of chips. Over the last bag of chips and watch a Shakur Stevenson fight. I'm just being honest.
I've got a question for both of you.
Yes.
If you had a choice, and these were your only 2 choices, who would you rather watch? Shakur Foster or Shakur Stevenson?
I'd rather just slip my wrist. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather play hopscotch outside.
I am so glad that I recorded those fights because, my God, they were wonderful.
Hope you deleted them right after you watched them.
Yeah, right.
I hope you freaking deleted them right after you watched them to free up your DVR space.
I did.
And anybody who stayed up to watch that DAZN fight last night, the Diaz and Masvidal fight, started at 1:00, didn't get done until almost 2.
People were literally on Twitter tweeting out, "I woke up to a robbery." What is so you were sleeping during the fight? So I mean, who cares?
All right, Robert, we're going to put you on hold. We're going to get moving here.
And the fight.
All right, get lost.
Okay.
You say get lost.
Enough of you.
917 New York, you're live.
Yo, what's up, guys? Hey, so it's funny. I'm actually a little surprised at some of the commentary, and not that so much that I disagree with it. I just didn't think that's what the overall sentiment would be from you two guys today. And you know what's funny? I have mixed feelings about what I saw. I'm specifically focused on the O'Shaquie and the Shakur fight. I actually thought O'Shaquie looked good. I thought he looked really sharp. Like his timing was so good, in my opinion, that I thought, okay, this guy is fighting really well and he deserves his victory. I don't know the guy. I've never seen him fight before. I just thought that he looked really sharp. His timing looked really on point. And the other guy was just reaching and struggling to make contact with him. So I thought he just deserved the victory. I understand what you guys mean about the guys, especially lightweights, not putting more output out there, because that's what those light division small guys were known for the past 20 years or whatever. But Shakur, I had a total agreement with you guys' sentiment. Maybe you know why? It's because I spent the past few years hearing people talk this guy up so fucking much that I was like, it just made me be like, what am I looking at? You go on every channel, you go to Pro Box, and they're talking about Shakur being the best. They're talking about people like Tank ducking him and all this stuff. So the funny thing is that was the fight where I completely agree with you. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And the funny thing is in the post-fight interview, he tried to say, well, this guy didn't come to fight. That guy did nothing but come to fight. That German dude.
Yeah.
He came to fucking fight. Like, I don't even understand how you could say that. He literally brought everything he had, and it was all there, like you guys said. If Shakur had the output, had a killer instinct, it was there for him to look good, basically. So, I don't want to get to the point where if a boxer's a good boxer and wins by boxing, that we're not appreciative of it. But I'm getting tired of being told I don't know what I'm looking at. Like the commentary was, for you guys who don't really know boxing, you got to appreciate.
That's part of the gaslighting by Tim Bradley. Tim
really
Bradley
old
wants to
and
gaslight
annoying,
everybody because he likes. If Tim Bradley likes a certain fighter, he's going to tell you that fighter walks on water. And when you hear a fight, when you hear during a broadcast, wow, look at the great defense. Wow, look at the great defense. Wow, look at the great defense. What about the offense? What about the offense? What about the make them pay when you make them miss? What about after you block a shot, maybe firing back with your own? You know, again, did I think Shock won the fight? Yeah. Did I think he won it like going away? No. I mean, did I think it was an 11-1 fight like Krieger was telling me? No. Did I think it was a masterclass like Bradley was telling me? No. Do I care that he lost the fight? No. I don't feel sorry for him because I just don't think it was a great fight. I don't like that style of fighting. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to score for him if he wins the fight. I did score the fight for him. Yeah. Do I care that he lost? No, I don't. No. Sorry. I just don't. Call me cynical. Call me vindictive.
Cynical. You're vindictive.
Call me evil if you want. I don't care, man. I am who I am.
I think you're someone who wants to be entertained when you put on a TV night on a Saturday.
That's what I tell Lois every night. I'm sorry.
Be doing.
There you go.
No, that's it. I agree with what you said. Don't tell me somebody's a star and then the guy doesn't finish. Like these guys need to know what we're here for. You know what I mean? It's not to watch two guys dance. It's boxing. You know,
people walking out of the arena after the 10th round, walking out, booing, walking out, and then Bradley's trying to tell me, "Oh, this is a masterclass." I don't care, Bradley. I don't care.
Didn't look like one. Yeah, did not look like one. All right, my friend, we're going to get going here. Thank you so much for the call. We appreciate it. Very good takes, man. Very good takes. Good call. 757, I believe this is Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. You're live.
Yeah, how you doing, guys? Appreciate you bringing me to the show. Name's Antonio.
Antonio, that's my son's name. I love it.
How you doing, Antonio?
I'm solid, B. And I was just calling in on kind of get my point of view on some of the fight and also on some of y'all commentary. I thought first let me say this. I don't think Shakur met the expectation. Last night, me and my brother, we watching the family, we texting. I said the expectation tonight is for him to be special. His back against the wall, people want to see a special fight. He did not perform like that. But his performance wasn't, to me, my opinion, as bad as the T.O. performance. I was actually more bored watching T.O. I think it was last week. And then even the Foster fight, I fell asleep for like 3-4 rounds and woke up. I saw the beginning and the end.
People fall asleep during that fight and they woke up and said, I woke up to a robbery. I mean, like, how could it, like, how do you know it's a robbery if you fell asleep during it? I'm not saying you, Antonio, but I'm saying people on Twitter just said they said the same exact thing you said. I fell asleep during that Foster fight.
I mean, it was a long boxing card, but I mean, I thought based on the beginning and the end he went through, but I actually don't know the answer to that because I didn't see the whole fight. I agree with that. But I thought it just watching even the Foster fight, it just went off what you said about Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley was praising Foster, but he actually was very critical of Shakur during the fight. And I think a lot of that has to do with expectation. Like, he was expecting to see a special performance for Shakur, and when he was commentating the fight, he was, even though Shakur was way more offensive than his last performance, he still commentated was like, it was times where Bradley would say, this ain't it. Come on, Shakur, you got to throw more punches. You got to put your punches together. You win in the fight, but people want to see entertainment. So he was very critical of Shakur throughout most of that fight. Fans started leaving, I think, also because of the expectation. I mean, I feel like you guys are kind of, especially you being, I feel like you being very hard on them because of the expectation versus the performance itself. Because typically that's a regular Shakur fight. I mean, he was throwing punches, but he's
right. Yeah.
he's a safety first guy, and I agree with you. When did lightweight start throwing this little bit of punches? But these guys want to be like Money Mayweather, so they think it's get hit but don't get hit, but they don't remember that he took risks. Like when what I was expecting from Shakur was Floyd versus Indu. I was expecting him to treat him like Indu, like, okay, y'all want to see me be offensive? If you remember, Indu was the fighter for Floyd. He was kind of tall. He had like little plaits, dreads.
Yep.
And Floyd just put on a performance. He took risks. He let his hands fly because that was a time when he knew, okay, I got an opponent in front of me that's tailor-made. Let me get a crowd a show. Shakur, you got a guy with 7 knockouts. Not you talked about Frank Martin, went life and death with him. I'm going to make him look like this. And, bro, you won 10, 11 rounds on my card, but it was just we was looking for special. And this was the first time I saw Keyshawn on the card with him, and I questioned if Keyshawn was starting to get up there, too. I'm questioning if Keyshawn could beat him.
I tell you what, I mean, he looked good. Yeah, Keyshawn looked good, man. Keyshawn looked really good. And Antonio, I really do agree with you, man.
The guy he had in front of him, the guy he had in front of him had to have a chin like Canelo. Because I think Keyshawn got popped. But that guy was walking through a lot of hellacious shots.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. He absolutely was.
But yeah, that's kind of just like, I just want to kind of put my opinion out there. I think Shakur wants to fight the Tank fight. I would like to see the Tank fight. If what's been put out there true about Loma saying, hey, y'all fight, I'll fight the winner, cool. I want to see it. But Shakur, if you want this big money, you got these fighters have to know part of the game is entertaining. And you have to put yourself a little bit more risk averse and, put yourself out there more. And I just think he's a safety first clean fighter. And, I thought it was a good performance. I just don't think it was what everybody was looking for. We was looking for a special performance.
Yeah.
You said you felt asleep.
Complaining in the corner saying he's running. You do realize people were saying you was running the last fight, Shakur. You can't then say this guy's running because he wasn't moving. He was boxing. He was in front of you a lot. I don't know. I just feel like they young, man. They 24, 25. They doing the same thing other people done when they was that age. They thinking this is how you supposed to act, this type of stuff you supposed to say, and they turning some people off. But inherently, I think they good guys. They just doing the same thing young guys do. But just keep in mind when we critical of them that when they get in their 30s and they have family and kids, they gonna sound way different. Like right now, they just, I'm gonna kill this guy, I'm gonna kill this guy. They just not what they think they is.
I agree.
Yeah, come on, you hope so, for sure.
All right, Antonio, we're going to get running, man. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And anytime you want to call, he goes to the top of the list. Name Antonio. Hey, what can I do? Got no choice, man. We got to put him up. Got to put him up. 210, Texas, San Antonio, Texas. How about that? Big Texas. You're live. It's not Big Texas.
Hey, what's up, guys? Bam country, rock. I'm a little bitter, man. I'm coming off my guy seeing Bam do his thing. And I just want to rant, man. I hope I can get this off quick, guys.
Yeah.
I usually just save you off for, when I'm listening in. But look, man, I don't agree with the last guy. When we hear guys, we throw pity parties, and it's like, oh, well, we want them to have their faculties. We want them to talk right when they're older. That's bullshit. I mean, look at Roberto Duran. How old is that guy? He's out in fights. He's a traveling man.
Yeah.
You can still have your faculties. That's more of like something that's within your genetics, right? We've seen warriors just like Ward, he took punches in the head for, every second of the fight. He's fine. We got to stop thinking like that, man. This is boxing. People tune in for the violence. That's the whole point of the sport being a combat sport. And we can't afford to have these Shakur Stevenson, these pander parties. Oh, let's go easy on the guy. He didn't meet our expectations. No, that's bullshit because this is a pattern now. And we just saw Canelo. He just pretty much, that's our face of boxing. That's our cash cow, our ambassador. He just gave up the September date to the UFC, like Debo giving up taking a bite from Lil Red in the movie Friday. Man,
Whoa.
boxing, we can't afford to have these guys. We can't afford to have these guys putting on these performances. I'm sorry, man. And he posted something crazy like, oh, well, the boxing is like jazz. The better you are, the less people appreciate it. I'm like, oh my God, this kid is just. This is what he's gonna do. He's gonna get cut. He's gonna pull the race card, say that Bob Arum is racist. Oh wait, he already did that, right? So this guy that's been promoting him, putting on shows, putting up his money, putting up the network deals to put him on ESPN TV, to put people to sleep, giving him $3 million minimums. He's gonna turn around and bash him. Just watch when he leaves. So I don't know, man. We can't afford to be having this, man. Like boxing is in the corner almost. Like, you know what I mean? Thank God for the Saudis. Who knows where we'd be if Turkey didn't come along, right?
Yeah.
So that's just my take, man. Even with the undercard with Oshaki Foster, I was watching at Twin Peaks. Do y'all have those up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had one screen was on the pay-per-view of the Masvidal fight, and luckily during that undercard, the Vargas kid versus Ryan's little brother was on. And I like to watch around casuals, and there was like a restaurant full of casuals, and I kind of judge like the fights and how people are seeing it in their eyes. And I'm telling you, man, like nobody liked it. And it's not good for boxing, man. Dana White is killing it, and we're one more thing. The cards, man. Yeah, I hear, man. The cards. I just want to squeeze this in because I know y'all, I don't have a lot of time. But the cards, man, the cards are bad, and we can't forget that Usyk Fury had bad cards. Luckily, the right guy won, but they were still bad cards in that fight. Bam Rodriguez won, but he had bad cards. Man, we're like on the brink. We're always on the brink of some fuckery going on, and that's another thing that we can't afford to have anymore. It's just, man, Shakur needs to go. I'm sorry. No more. Oh, excuses, expectations. This guy needs to go away. He's toxic. Him and Clarissa Shields are a little dynamic duo on Twitter right now, and God, they talk about like the same kind, right? Like I can't stand those two. Man, we need exciting fighters. That's all I got, guys. I appreciate the show.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Good call. Let's go to 718 New York. Actually, this is going to be 410 Baltimore. Jerry, what's happening?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
What a beautiful day it is. It's crazy because I agree with every fucking thing you jugheads are saying. I couldn't agree more.
I knew he'd be on it sooner or later, baby. We converted him.
Let me start with Foster. If you turn the sound off on that fight and don't listen to Bradley's battling, it's easy to see how he lost that fight to me. That wasn't no robbery. Just like Dweeb said, the punch output was so minimal from what he landed to his opponent that it doesn't overcome the metric. One guy was coming forward and forcing the fight. The other guy, fucking Bradley, you heard the guy say that Bradley had picked this guy to be the most like outstanding up and comer, a couple fights ago. He said, I've seen this guy fight before. He's fucking like watching paint fucking dry. He kept comparing him to Mayweather. No. The only thing he did that I'll give him credit for that Mayweather did is he was using his left shoulder effectively to block punches. The big difference is, though, Mayweather would rarely block the punch with his shoulder and then take a step or two back. Once in a while, he'd do that, but mostly he would stay right there in position to land his punches. And this guy wouldn't do that. He was blocking the punch with his shoulder pretty good, but then he'd take 2 steps back, take himself out of range, and the other guy would come forward throwing punches. They weren't really landing that clean, but he was at least working in there. So that fight was definitely not a robbery in my fucking eyes, but if you listen to the gaslighting, just like you said, babe, you would think that he was just slaughtering that Cuban dude, and he wasn't. He wasn't doing shit, really. Shakur Stevenson, I'm not trying to hear this bullshit that it was people pumped him up and that's why. No bullshit, man. He's always talking about how much ass he's going to whoop and how fucking good he is and everything. Okay. Then you get in there and you have a nothing burger. And the guy said, well, it was better than his last fight. Well, guess what? I read a stat yesterday that in his last fight, combined, It was 100 and some punches. It was the lowest lightweight title fight output punches landed in the history of CompuBox. And so it couldn't have got any worse. And it was just pure junk, man. And if that card represents the future of boxing with those young guys, minus what's his name?
Keyshawn Davis.
Guy that
Keyshawn Davis.
Keyshawn, right? He actually comes to fight. Those other two guys, Shakur and the guy in the co-main event, Foster, fucking pure garbage. And Bob Arum, in the future, maybe want to try to figure out some kind of performance pay document for these guys, to where, and if you get in there and you fucking going to steal money, which Mayweather used to hear Mayweather say, "I'm stealing money," but to a degree he was, in fact, but nothing like these fucking clowns. These clowns are getting in there and they are not putting forth the effort. That guaranteed money, they're just getting in there, doing as little as they can do, and thinking that's going to be good enough.
Agreed. Gotcha. Look at that. Jerry is back.
What says you?
He's back. I love it.
Jerry's back, man.
I love it.
He's back, man.
It.
Now
Jerry, we're going to get one of my friends.
Be back on you.
He'll be back. He cuts him right off.
That was a good call, man. That was a good call. All right, let's go to the news. Let's go to the news real quick, and then we'll go back to the phones. So this is the big news this week, Beeb. Ryan Garcia.
Oh, what a disgusting person, man.
Train wreck of the week.
Oh,
train wreck of the week, son.
What a fucking.
He was expelled by the WBC on Thursday after he used repeated racial slurs against black people and disparaged Muslims in comments.
Disgusting.
Live streamed on social media. Mauricio Suleiman came out and announced the penalty on X or whatever. But he posted, "I hate all blank," derogatory term for black people, and all Muslims, he said. Something along those lines.
Disgusting.
Just
disgusting.
Really awful
disgusting
stuff. No reason for it. I don't know what his deal is. I don't care what his deal is.
Listen,
this is crazy Ryan. And now his parents have come out and said, he does need help. He does need. Listen, where were you? We've been saying this. You guys, and I was just trolling. Listen, man, you're not. I'm telling you, he's got something wrong with him.
It's not funny. It's not, talking about people's wives. Being racist like this is disgusting, bro. It's unacceptable. Yeah. I don't care. It's just unacceptable.
Well, and whatchamacallit, he came out, who was it? Suleiman, Jose or Oscar De La Hoya came out and condemned it and everything. Yeah. Mauricio, excuse me.
No
so it's like Oscar De La Hoya came out and said, this is, disgusting, blah, blah, blah. What's he going to do about it? What is he going to do about it? Is he your fighter?
I mean,
you're a fighter. What are you going to do about it?
People aren't going to like to hear this, but the guy is under contract. So can you void the contract? Yeah, you'd have to pay him out, though.
He's not voiding that contract.
I know.
He ain't voiding that contract.
But if people are expecting, like, De La Hoya is not going to cut ties with this guy.
I don't know what the contract says, but given the fact that he's saying what he's saying, that could be a breach of contract. You don't know what's in the contract.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that could actually nullify the contract. So, what do you do with this guy at this point? I mean,
well, this guy's going to end up self-destructing after a couple he'll come back, he'll lose a couple times, and he'll be gone.
Yeah, I agree.
And no one will miss him. Sorry to say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really sorry to say. No one will miss him.
Yeah.
I won't.
Tank Davis, Frank Martin pay-per-view numbers are in. 325,000 buys.
Now, what did I say before? Like, because he was doing 200, 250.
Yeah.
And this is a little bump up from that. And I did say that there will be
bad.
Yeah, I did say there will be a little bump. Well, he will get a little bit of a rub from that Ryan Garcia pay-per-view. Like his status would increase a little bit.
I'll tell you,
it's 325 with all due respect against a guy like Frank Martin. Under these current conditions with people
that's not
fights. Bad. It's not bad at all.
That's a pretty good,
it's 26 million, revenue with pay-per-view revenue, and then whatever the gate is.
Yeah.
It's not a bad little chunk of change. So
not bad. Yeah, and Benavidez was on that undercard too. So yeah, not bad. I didn't mind it at all. I didn't mind it. Not
given for, with all due respect, Frank Martin, that's not bad.
Not great, but yeah, that was good. Those are what you know what? That was a good pay-per-view, had some good names on it. That's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. In the Canelo sweepstakes. So we've heard, who have we heard here?
Berlanga, Chris Eubank
Jr. Chris Eubank Jr. is now the guy who they're saying will fight Canelo next. They're in talks. Still not, I care less.
Yeah.
Not impressed, not at all. Listen, but this, I'm telling you specifically, he's going to fight Crawford because that's a big money fight.
I don't think he's going to fight Crawford.
Well, I'll tell you who he's not going to fight. Benavidez is who he's
not. I think he's going to fight David, man.
You're crazy. You're crazy. It's down. HLD says it's down to Berlanga and Eubanks Jr. Yeah. Raphael says Benavidez or nothing. Listen, it's going to be nothing. I'm telling you, it's going to be nothing. He's not fighting him.
Come on,
Eubanks, then Crawford. I agree. Agree. Berlanga's not ready for him.
Berlanga's not ready for him.
It's a huge, if you think about the Puerto Rican thing, the Mexican Puerto Rican thing, it's a big fight, but I just don't know how big it would possibly be with Berlanga.
Yeah.
He's not,
And Berlanga has not lit the world on fire. Eddie Hearn picks up these top rank these top rank throwaway fighters, and I don't know what is Eddie Hearn going to do with this guy.
I don't know. What does he do with him?
Then if he signs Shakur, what's he going to do? He's not going to turn Shakur into a star. I'm sorry, he's just not.
No, I can't see that either. All right, let's head back to New York. 718, you're live.
Hey guys, it's Raphael from New York.
Raphael,
what's up, Raphael?
What's going on, guys? So yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fights this weekend. It was just hard to keep up, but I hope you guys don't kill me with this one. But honestly, the most entertaining match this weekend that I watched out of all of them was that Sean Garcia versus Amado Vargas. I mean, whoever didn't watch it probably, had really good justification on not watching it. But honestly, out of everything that we saw, it was probably the most entertaining one.
It was pretty good. I did catch that fight.
The situation with Shakur is that honestly, I said it multiple times. I like him. I like his style and everything, but he's very immature, and he's about to learn the hard way on his value and everything that Beef has been saying, because he feels in his head he has some sort of delusion of grandeur that he deserves more, and the market is going to dictate how much he's really worth. Maybe a little bit of kind of perception due to the fact that he had a really bad performance versus De Los Santos, and there was high expectations, but in reality, he should have performed, and there's nothing that we can say about it. Outside of that, I just wanted to comment regarding the Canelo sweepstakes stuff. I mean, I know that one of you guys has David fighting Canelo soon and another Crawford. This guy's doing really a lot. A lot of people are not really looking at it this way, but this guy's doing a lot of damage to the sport right now, and people are not even realizing it, because the next generation is going to pick and choose even more. We started with Mayweather doing his picking and choosing stuff. He did take on some tough fights, but at the end of the day, he didn't really follow the sport as a mandatory and everything like that. Canelo was at a stage where he's not taking any risk, and the next generation is going to pay for it. But I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Raph, can I respond to you? Here's the difference between Canelo and Mayweather. Couple things. Mayweather never was undisputed. He never had all 4 belts. So if you were in Mayweather's division and you wanted to fight for a championship, you had the ability to fight for a championship. The problem with Canelo is he's got all 4 belts, and the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman is such a coward that he won't order the mandatory. He has not fought a mandatory in 3.5 years. His last mandatory was, I think, 2021 against Yildirim, right? He hasn't had a mandatory since then. So Mauricio Suleiman could put a stop to all this and say, either you fight David or I'm going to strip you, right? So stop being a coward. And here's another thing about Mayweather. Even Mayweather fought guys like Maidana. He fought guys like, Victor Ortiz, right? He fought guys like Shane Mosley. He fought Miguel Cotto when he was in his mid-30s, right? Canelo is not fighting even that level of a fighter. So, again, I understand where you're coming from. Mayweather hasn't been perfect throughout his career, but I think Canelo's going one step below Mayweather right now, in my opinion.
Oh, I couldn't disagree more. I absolutely not.
Can I respond to that?
Sure.
I absolutely agree. And
Mayweather at least fought champions. Like Berlanga's not even a champion. Berlanga's not even a champion. Chris Eubank Jr. is not even a champion. Mayweather at least fought champions. Like Cotto was a champion when he was a champion.
I completely.
Go ahead. I'm
Andre
sorry.
Berto, he was a good fighter, wasn't he?
I completely agree, and
that was his last fight,
which was awful. Conor McGregor, zero fights.
Mayweather wasn't a champion when he fought Conor McGregor.
Who cares? He still fought him and got his 50th off of that fight.
Horrible.
Seriously?
Horrible.
It's awful.
Horrible. But those were exhibition fights.
I think Mayweather
they were
at that
real
point
fights.
had already retired. So
exhibitions to me.
You gaslight.
So I mean, it may turn to the for the worse with the next generation of fighters. People will justify.
If you take Mayweather at 34 and look who Mayweather was fighting at 34, and then look at Canelo at 34, 33, whatever, and look at what Canelo's fighting right now, I gotta be honest, like Cotto, Maidana, right? Even Pacquiao he fought. He didn't fight like McGregor till he was like what, 37? So I don't know.
No, he was much older, but I thought he retired already for
like
a year or so.
Yeah, he was retired for like 2 years, then he came back.
Yeah, he retired. Yeah. So yeah. So
all right, Rafael.
I mean, I get all of the points. All right, guys.
All right, thank you so much, man. I tell you, you think about. I think it's fascinating that as much as he accomplished in the sport, Mayweather, he was never undisputed.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's pretty fascinating.
You're right, Eric. Obviously, Mayweather picked and choose too.
Yeah.
But at least he was like, this is even like bad for Mayweather standards, fighting a guy like Berlanga, fighting a guy like Chris Eubank Jr.
What's the difference between that and Andre Berto?
That was a horrible fight, Andre Berto.
What's the difference? No difference.
I think Andre Berto is better than Berlanga, no?
No.
Really?
No, I don't. Nope.
All right.
I think they're both on the same level. They really are. Okay. What did Andre Berto do?
Yeah.
Nothing.
That was like his farewell fight, I guess.
Yeah, where a lot of people fight good guys to go out on, and where they have a chance of losing.
It bothers me more.
Let me tell you what, I think that Floyd Mayweather hurt boxing more than he helped it.
I agree 100% because
with the pay-per-view models, with those pay-per-view models,
with the zero, with having to be undefeated,
reward,
I agree
undefeated streak, all that stuff completely ruined it. Ruined it.
No, I agree
760 California. You're live. Quickly.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? What's up, Eric? What's up, D?
He's gonna cut you off.
Hey, he's gonna cut
you off because he's getting hungry. He's getting hungry. He's getting hungry, and dinner's on the table. He's gonna cut you off.
I got stuff to do, man.
I already know, man. I know he already got his finger on the button. Hey, wait a minute, homie. Let me cook a minute. Now look, let me just talk about fucking Shakur, okay? Now look, I try not to be too hard on this dude because I'm like, well, shit, every damn fight that he fight is like this. It ain't no damn difference. He's a highly skilled guy. He's just boring as hell, and he kind of like weak. You know what I'm saying? Because when a dude ain't hurt, at least hurt the dude. Make something look dramatic. You don't even really see too much of that. But he is highly skilled. You know what I'm saying? We got to give him that. He's a fucking highly skilled boxer. You know what I'm saying? He's very good fundamentally, this, and that. The only thing, he ain't got no entertainment value. That's for damn sure. And I really think Tank would knock his ass out. I think the two people that will fuck him up is fighting against each other, Lomachenko and Tank. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Tank would give him the business too. Or Lomachenko or Tank, either or. You know what I'm saying? They'll give him the business, but, they fighting against each other. That's going to be a good fight right there. These other guys, I don't know, man. Keyshawn Davis, he did good for the night. O'Shaquie Foster, man. Some of these dudes, they got to stop depending on the fucking judges. That's the problem. They be depending on these judges, to win fights. You got to just fucking say to hell with it. You got to take that shit into your own damn hands and shit, go for something. Go for a knockout something. Stop relying on that shit, man. It was sad that dude, I mean, he won the fight. You can't say this other dude won that shit. I mean, the other dude was missing. He was frustrated. The dude was definitely getting outboxed. But then after a minute, it was like you start seeing the same shit every damn round. Next thing you know, by round 6, you done fell asleep and you woke up and it's like the other dude won. Like, what the fuck? Did I miss something? Was it a knockdown? You know what I'm saying? But both of them fights was boring as hell. You know what I'm saying? Sugar Shane Mosley, Danny Jacobs. Man, Sugar Shane is not that damn good. Damn.
Danny Jacobs looked awful last night. I feel like I could have stepped in the ring with Danny Jacobs and beat him last night. Yeah, he looked awful.
Was horrible, man.
He looked out of shape.
I already said, awful. I said, when is the last time he stepped in the ring? That's the question. Because that shit plays a part. When did he get in the ring?
I don't know. 72 last night, man. I'll tell you what. He didn't look good at all. Yeah, he did not look good at all.
You joke. Oh, he looked horrible. And the last caller, I agree with him. He said the best fight of the night. All them fucking fights we had. And it was only one good fight, which was
on the zone.
Garcia
and Vargas.
Garcia
Amado Vargas.
Vargas.
Sean Garcia and Amado Vargas.
That was it. That was the only.
It was a good fight.
That was it.
Nice,
you know what
scrap,
I'm saying?
Man. Yeah.
That was it. Keyshawn Davis. The Keyshawn Davis fight was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty entertaining. Yeah, Keyshawn is pretty good, man. I like how he fights. He didn't get the knockout, but
he was trying.
At least he showed that he's going to go out there and scrap. He got a little dog in him. Or he might got a big dog. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely got a dog in him. Shakur, oh, man. Tank is going to knock your ass out. You got to stay away from Tank, Kobe. Calling out Tank.
Pressure and power.
You know damn well Tank will. That pressure will fucking knock his ass out. You know what I'm saying? We got to give Tank some props on this shit that he be doing because this little motherfucker can punch.
Yes.
His ass is like a little baby Mike Tyson with that shit. Stop playing, D.
That's why he gets these pay-per-view numbers.
I know, B, you can't stand his ass.
Yeah, but I give him credit. I'm not like you though, bro. I give people credit.
Why not?
I don't like him as a person, but he's a hell of a fighter, bro.
Stop. Why?
I don't like him as a person, but he's
Why?
a
What did he
fighter.
do? What did he do?
Just like I like you. It's the opposite with you, Brian. I actually like you as a person. I just don't like you as an analyst.
Hey, look, Eric, B be like
you're the greatest father I've ever seen besides Eric.
Anyway, look.
And
hello. That goes without saying.
Eric's a great father.
But look,
Eric's kids
let me tell you what.
Love me.
Let me tell you how B be getting me every time. B be like, because I tell B, I be like, look, man, it is what it is. Tank is a fucking star. You know,
he
I
is.
tell him all the time, and he just be like,
person.
well, how would you? But look,
I asked you on the phone one day. Would you let Tank?
Like, well,
if your daughter took Tank home, would you be happy? You said no.
Your daughter, he always gets me with that fucking question. How would you feel if Tank dated your daughter? I'm like, that's an unfair damn question.
I tell you what,
that ain't got nothing to do.
I wouldn't let Tank watch my kids on TV, let alone in real life, man. No way.
Like this. Okay, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Hello, is your name? Who are you, sir? I'm Tank Davis. I slammed the door in his face. You're not taking out my daughter.
No, hell no. He ain't touching. He ain't going near my daughter.
Your daughter, yes or no?
That ain't got nothing to do with that. No.
Then he's not a good person.
That don't have nothing to do with what this man can do in the ring.
I never said he did.
Can I say something about Ryan real quick?
Hurry up.
Eric, before you cut me off, can I say something about Ryan?
I was going to cut you off like 10 minutes ago. You know,
all right. Okay, look, man. Listen, man.
Spit it out.
Look. Okay. I've known Ryan since he was 10 years old, okay? He's not racist. I don't know why he said what he said. You know what I'm saying? He's not racist. You know, it's fucked up that he said that shit, though, because, man, we've been rocking with him since the beginning of his whole shit. I'm talking about from when he was little up until now. We still been rocking with him. So it's like, man, I done been through some shit rooting for him. People been banging on me like, man, how you doing for him? He Mexican. I'm like, man, you better get the fuck out of my face with that shit. This ain't jail politics, homie.
Jail politics.
You know what I'm saying? I've had to do that shit.
Jail politics.
Ask you another question.
What's the matter?
Can I ask you another question?
I want to. What?
Brian, can I ask you another question?
But I ain't gonna lie, this shit is bad, and there ain't nothing I can say to help this dude in this situation.
Right,
and where are you gonna go?
Have you ever shanked anybody?
Where are you gonna go to?
Can I ask you another question, Brian?
Me?
Yeah, let me ask you another question, Brian. If your
anyway,
daughter took Ryan
up,
Garcia home and said, "Hey, Daddy, me and Ryan are gonna be elope. We're getting married," what would happen?
I wouldn't have Ryan near my fucking daughter to be dating.
Again! I got you again! I got you again!
Bringing my family into this,
again!
Shit.
You're running interference for these guys like they're good people. You wouldn't let them 10 feet within the household of the Brian Pryor household.
Hey, boo.
You wouldn't even let these guys go to a barbecue.
They're not coming in.
They're not even coming in.
I don't play, man. I don't play.
These guys are Uber Eats drivers. You wouldn't even let them deliver the food to your house.
All right, Brian, thanks for calling in, man. We're going to get running, man.
But look.
There he goes.
See you later, Brian.
One more here, 516. I believe this is New York, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the Rake. The Rake.
Is this Jesse Regan?
Jesse.
I wouldn't have picked up the phone. Who was Jesse?
Rake.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, man? How's little Jess doing?
Who cares? All right, let's go. Get it on. Let's move.
He's good. Yeah, man. Shakur put me to sleep last night. I fell asleep on the 9th round. I mean, you know, and then I'm tired of people like on Twitter saying if you don't appreciate Shakur, then you're not a fan of the science of boxing. And it's like, no, everybody agrees he's a boring fighter. I mean, the only entertaining fights he's going to be in is if he faces an elite boxer, because we're going to see how he does against the elite boxer. So, I mean, that's my opinion on Shakur. And, I mean, does he win? I don't know. You know, that remains to be seen. But I don't want him. I don't want to see fights with him and inferior boxers anymore, because it's just going to be a bore fest. And then
I wanted to say something to the point of Canelo. The caller a couple calls before. Canelo is pretty annoying with the picking and choosing. I agree with that. It's disgusting what Ryan Garcia said and did. I think what people are missing is the appeal that Ryan had for like boxing fans like myself. Is he brought these fights to life? He brought him versus Gervonta, him versus Haney. I mean, he's a nutcase, of course, but he wasn't scared to fight who he should be able to fight, and that was the appeal of him. I just wish, like, we could get these fights made again, Shakur versus Tank set it up, so that's my call for the day.
All right, Jesse. Thank you so much for calling in. There you go. There, you got a puzzled look on your face, babe. Are you mad I picked up?
No,
I'm a little disappointed.
I'm surprised that you're letting all these calls go through. You usually cut these motherfuckers off after 3 seconds.
Well, he's your boy, man. He's your boy. So I mean, I was like, all right, I'm gonna
be having a good day or something. You must have went to church this morning. I don't know.
I was letting him go for a minute. I'm like, all right,
these guys
I'm
go.
not taking the call,
I'm actually shocked you're letting these guys go. You usually cut them off after 30 seconds. People are getting a lot of run tonight.
That's right. Sometimes I'm in a good mood. Sometimes I'm in a good mood. Man. There you go. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. And you can find me on X at ringside73. Guys, we will see you next week.